Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Everything Went Black podcast. Welcome back, my brother Ralph Schmidt of the band Ultha. We're doing another one of these Mount Rushmore episodes, which were a lot of fun, primarily because of the spontaneous nature where we're both forced to think on our feet and come up with solutions. So, it's a lot of fun. And, I'm not going to lie, it's just cool to hang out with Ralph. If you're listening to this podcast, that means that you are most likely a fan of the other members of the Horsemen of the Podcasting Apocalypse. And if you're not, do yourself a favor and check out these fine fellows. Kicking the week off every other Monday, we've got Brandon Legion's Horror Wolf 666. Up next, Into the Necrosphere by Jackie Schmidt. Wednesday is a double shot day. We've got, of course, Everything Went Black, plus Iblis Manifestation by Cheyenne of the great band Trivax. Thursday is Necro Thursday, where you can enjoy the Necromaniacs Horror Podcast, as well as Day 1 of Soul Knocks, brought to you by Carl Hikara. Friday, enjoy the irreverent pop culture sentiments of Spitball Media. Saturday is a day off. But don't worry, because Sunday, Carl Hikara returns with Day 2 of Soul Knocks. Carl and I are full steam ahead with Darkness Weaves, our exploration of the work of Carl Edward Wagner. So check it out if you're into sword and sorcery, weird fiction, dark fantasy, and horror. I'd like to thank everyone who's listening to the show. I've been doing this for quite a while, and it's a passion project. If you want to support the show, by all means, share it with your friends. Give us star ratings, reviews on whatever platform you enjoy the show on. But you can also join the Everything Went Black Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can get bonus content. For $5 a month, you get bonus content plus early access to all of the regular stream shows. And for $25 a month, you can promote your own endeavor as a sponsor. Ralph, it seems like a long time has passed since we spoke, so it's glad to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a while. You're a married man now.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
We're going into month 1 of my marriage, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So congratulations on this for the record here on the podcast. I mean, we texted before, but officially super happy for you guys.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but yeah,
quite a bit of activity on your end too, man. It seems like you guys had a great tour with Russian Circles.
Yes. That was definite highlight. I mean, it's kind of crazy that when we were mid last year, we're like, okay, it's going to be the last Unholy Passion in December, and then let's see what happens next year. And then we got like two tours pretty much offered, and now it's July, and I already played 21 shows in 8 countries.
Nice.
which is like, wow, okay. But like therefore it's no shows anymore for the rest of the year because we're going to focus working on the new album. But yeah, I mean, around Easter we toured the UK, and then I came back. School was like all crazy because it like after the Easter vacation, Easter holidays towards the summer holidays, it's like plastered with like bank holidays, and you need to get all the papers and shit to finish the school term. And now I'm in my first week of summer vacation, and yeah, during that time also like the 10 days we went out with the Russian Circles. But man, that was such a fantastic experience, and I can't give enough praise to the 3 guys in Russian Circles and their whole crew. It was such a pleasure around them. Yeah.
No, it's great. I've been following your progress, on social media and everything, and it seems like the shows were packed and
Yeah.
everyone had a good time and that kind of thing.
Yeah, man. We had it was crazy when all this shit happened that like when Vincent of Odyssey booking, for me the most continuously reliable booker here in mainland Europe, and he like we got a mail, hey, Russian, would you be interested in touring with Russian Circles? And at first I was like, okay, who's pranking me? That must be a joke. And it's like, no, that's like it's actually Vincent's address because I booked a show for one of his bands earlier on. And then I text back like, hey, yeah, so we generally would love to. So what's the deal here? And then he explained it that Russian circles inquired to him if he could reach out to us if we want to tour with them. And I'm like, really?
That's
They
awesome.
that's like they know us, really? Okay. And so yeah, like he said, yeah, it's going like it's there. They will do a week of shows because they will play Hellfest and then they will play Resurrection Fest the weekend later. And he said like to be upfront, like I cannot get you on these festivals, but you will play shows on the way there and on the way back. And he's like, I was like, okay, cool. So I checked with the others. I had to get special vacation from school because I cannot just say, hey, I'm gone for a week now. But like my school was cool about it. They made it possible. And then I booked shows for us for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when they were at Hellfest. And then on the last Friday, I booked us a show in Paris.
Oh,
But overall, we had 6 or 7 shows with them. And yeah, it was great because Russian circles, they're a big thing here in Europe. I don't know like about them in America, if they're like super popular.
I don't know, man. I know that people like them. I
Yeah.
I don't really know much about Russian circles. I know that
Mm,
there's like a former member of Botches in the band, and Botch is a band that it's all right. They're an okay band. I don't really listen to
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But I think that they do really well in the States too. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've been doing it forever. When this whole wave of bands came with, which was called like post metal back then,
Yeah.
and like instrumental post metal, and I mean they've been doing their thing forever, but they were always good. They're like a band. A new album comes out, I'll play it, I'll enjoy it. Some of the songs are killer, some of them are good, but they were always a great live band. Saw them a bunch of times. And so it was like crazy that a band of that magnitude, that like they fill rooms during the week, up until 1,500 people every
Wow.
night.
That's pretty
What?
good.
Yeah, it's like it's really solid. And then it said, then like the bookers, Vincent said, it will be France, Switzerland, and Belgium. And I'm like, that's cool because we sell a ton of merch to France, but no one ever books us in France. And we're like, that would be a great opportunity to play to a ton of people that don't know us. Um, and it was exactly that. And that's what they told us later on. It's like, hey, we're fans of your band, and we wanted to give you a plug, so you can play to more people that don't know you. And which is crazy for a band of that size. And they were nothing but total pros, their whole crew, absolute sweethearts, all of them. They watched a lot of times, watched our set while we played before they like get warmed up for their set. We went record shopping with them. They always like helped us when we needed loading shit and stuff. So none of them is like going to the backstage and hanging out. They're like their whole crew and them, they're like one unit. Um, super super helpful, and like also with, hey, we always did this on tours and we saw you do that too, but like try it that way, it's better. And we're like, oh cool. So never like we're above you, but always like, hey, we've have a bit more experience, maybe you want to try out this. And we're like, fuck yeah. And it's crazy that when we met them in Liège, that was the first show. We arrived, they were just done with sound check, and Brian, their bass player, like welcomed us, and he knew us, like, hey, you're Otha, right? Hey, are you going to play this song and that
Oh,
song? I'm
wow.
like, what? It's like crazy. And here's the funny part where a mutual friend of theirs and your comes into play. I
Okay.
asked I asked Brian like, after a while, he and I, we talked a lot, and he's the guy that used to be in Botch. And I was like, hey, so there's a million black metal bands out there. How the fuck do you know about us? Oh, yeah. I went to rehearsal with Sumac and we were in the car of Aaron Turner.
Okay. Yeah.
And Aaron Turner put the CD on, or like I don't know, like he put Otha on, and we sat in his car, listened to the whole record front to back, and then I said like, hey, I want to bring them out on tour.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Aaron's good like that, man. He helped tune Toombs up quite a bit, like when we were just starting out. Like we toured with ISIS a bunch of times, and Aaron definitely is a guy, a fan who's a fan of music and seeks out music, and especially he big black metal fan, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he liked you guys and that he was definitely someone who shares the stuff that he's into with other people. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and that's it's so crazy that like I mean all that has never been true is came out in April of 2022. So
Yeah,
it's like 3.5 years old. But there's this renaissance of us getting more offers on this record and more chances. And then, like just the chance that like Aaron Turner is a guy that I have tremendous respect for.
sure, absolutely.
I've been a day one fan of ISIS, all the stuff he's been involved with. Like I love all this stuff. I love this the label work he did. I know he's good friends with yours, and that he, out of the millions of bands he probably knows, finds this small German band, and he's like, they're cool. Brian, listen to them. And then Brian's like, fuck yeah, they're cool. I will ask them to tour with us. I'm like, that's insane and makes me so proud what we've accomplished. So yeah, that was definite one of my definite highlights of all time playing in a band. Yeah.
No, it's killer, man. See, I love when stuff like that happens because, like,
Yeah.
so often times it's like, especially these days, like everyone's like, oh, what is how many Instagram followers do you have?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like, it's like ridiculous, So it's cool when it goes back to back to basics where it's like, I like this band, they're cool, I want them to support us. It's
Yeah.
like I was saying, a lot of times it's like, oh, we're looking for direct support, and must have this, and this, and
Mm.
it's when it's more organic like that, it's always a lot more fun.
Yeah, and that's like for them. I mean, I asked them, it's like, hey, do you actually live off this band? And Mike, the guitar player who started the band, said like, yeah, that's this band is my income. I do like some jobs next to it, but like primary income is this band. It's like, but isn't it a risk to take on like on the band on tour you have never met that is like kind of small but like established? He's like, we don't care because we know people will come and show up for our show. And if we can give like bands the rub that other bands gave us when we were younger, it's the best thing we can do. And I'm like, fuck, that's so cool. And I told him about Unholy Passion, and that was the same idea. I book bands that I know more people should know. And that's what I had. Like I sat down with Mike a lot. Like mostly we were just sitting on stage talking about pedals and shit. And he and I had like the kind of same mindset. He's a very humble guy and very funny and but like like not overtly like, hey, I'm the class clown, but like we had great chemistry. And he's like, yeah, like we didn't know what to get into, but now we see you're all the same age as we are. You kind of come from the DIY background. You have respect for the people. And it was such a blast that like on the last day they said like, hey guys, this w won't be the last time that we tour together. We're like, okay. It's been a fever dream, but in the most positive way, man.
Ah, that's great, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you got in store for me, man? I know that these Mount Rushmore things are like I don't have time to prepare. Like you
Nope.
conceal everything until right before we do this.
Yeah. Mike, you're a married man now. There's
Yeah.
there's not much spectacle anymore in your life, so I have to, I have to keep the defenses up. I can come with a left hook out of nowhere, but yeah, no, I have a bunch of things. I hope you do too.
Oh, can you run down what the rules are again?
Yeah, okay. I will ask you about a genre or a thing where I need you to tell me your Mount Rushmore, equally meaning your top four of whatever I ask you. And I want you to go top of your head. It's like what comes to mind. It can be anything related to music, movies, uh, entertainment. I could ask you name your Mount Rushmore of sodas or
Okay. All right.
where
I
to.
actually have some ideas though for you, and I think my lack of preparation and off the cuffness for this thing actually I think contributes to the vibe of what we're trying to do today.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I have ever since we like I pitched this idea and you said like, "Oh cool, let's do it." My head is running rampant and my notebook here for the podcasts, I have let me just I think I have 25 things already.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so we can do a lot of these.
Okay.
But for everybody out there, we love the interaction. We had it on Patreon, like a lot, where people gave us their Mount Rushmore to the topics. Feel free to do that also on social media. Also, if you have maybe questions for us, if you so you can comment, hey, would be cool to hear your Mount Rushmore of this or that. Please leave it in the comments and we'll take notes. Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I'm going to go first since I'm not prepared at all, and
Okay.
I have, but my mind. I started. I took 5 grams of creatine this morning, so I'm ready to rock. So that for neurological reasons, not just to get jacked.
Okay.
So all right. So Ralph, you and I have a difference in our approach to nutrition. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I'm an omnivore and you're vegan, and you've been
Yeah.
vegan for a large portion of your life, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Correct. Yeah.
So, what is your Mount Rushmore of vegan meals?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Still spontaneous
Yeah.
for an old married man. Not bad, man. Um. Okay. So, the Germans love their bratwurst?
hmm
Yeah.
Yep.
So for you out there, I don't know, like bratwurst in that way, it's
They have
nothing.
that here in the States.
Yeah.
People are familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is one thing that Germans do, and that's you roast the bratwurst and then you put it into a slicing machine, which chops it up into like equally sized pieces. I don't own such a machine, I do it by knife. Then you roast the sausage again, so like all the parts are really crispy. And then you put a sauce on top, which is curry ketchup mixed
Mm.
with a lot of curry extra, Coca-Cola, agave syrup. So it's pretty sweet, and you spice it up with hot sauce, and you put it on, make the sauce warm, and put it on the chopped bratwurst, and eat fries with that. It's called currywurst.
So, real quick, you actually put Coca-Cola in the gravy in the
Yes.
sauce?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet, but it's spicy, and you have like it's one of the most typical German things, Currywurst mit Pommes. So it's curry sausage with fries, and you can get it like pretty much in front of every supermarket. We have these little like booths or like wagons that sell like street food, and a currywurst is something very German. Sometimes you eat the wurst just with a roll next to it, sometimes with fries. But I always loved this spicy kind of hot ketchupy cola-ish thing on the spicy bratwurst with the fries.
Oh,
So
sounds
that's
good.
yeah, it's absolute nutrition killer. Like it's only terrible shit in there, but it's great. I love it. So yeah.
So the bratwurst that you're talking about is a vegan bratwurst though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry.
What is that made out of?
There are different ones. Some of made of tofu, but they suck because their texture is terrible. Most of them is Satan. So
Oh, Satan. All right, cool. Satan. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Satan sausage. Yeah, it has like a different texture, and I mean, there's been this push of vegan food for years now. Everything goes back to like the Stone Ages here. So, the far right is on the move, and like women go back to the stove, and men have to go out and hunt and kill, like this mentality. So, vegan food is kind of on downswing again, but you can still get a lot of like vegan sausages in that way. So, yeah, like currywurst with fries is number one, definitely. Um,
So you won't find any members of the AFD enjoying this recipe.
they're yeah, they are the guys that they sue companies that make bratwurst and call it vegan bratwurst because a bratwurst needs to be meat. So you could call it a vegan product in the shape of a wurst of a sausage, and then they might be okay with that, but they like dispute if it's okay to call a burger if the burger patty is not made of meat. You know,
No.
really important shit we need to take care of right now with the world is in shambles. But yeah. So no, the AFD won't definitely won't eat vegan.
All right.
So yeah, enough of the bratwurst thing. Aside from that, I have I have a. Do you like bloody beetroots?
Well, I mean, beets in general are pretty, they look bloody, like you can get them on your hands. So
Yeah,
I love beets. That's like a
yeah,
staple of what I eat usually. Yeah.
yeah. So I take beetroots, chop it up in small pieces, take a tofu, also chop it into pieces, put it in a pan with an onion, and then throw it together. So the beetroot, the tofu, balsamico, vinaigrette, salt, pepper, and a bit of sesame, and that's a salad that
Ooh.
you can eat. Really good. It's fantastic. That's also one of my favorites. I love everything related to pizza.
Well, yeah.
My problem is that vegan cheese mostly sucks ass. And so I rather have a good pizza, which is just tomato sauce and whatever's on top with a bit of garlic, instead of like vegan cheese. But can't fuck with like can't go wrong with a vegan pizza.
Vegan cheese never quite, they don't get that melting part of
Yeah.
it down.
They have one here called Simply V, which is like it's already like chopped cheddar style for pizzas and stuff. And when you put a bit of oil or water with it and munch it and then put it on top, it really melts. But in general, like I was never the big cheese guy when I still ate meat. Um, so like I just need something that melts and is okay, but I prefer pizza without cheese then. And there's different ways to do that without it. And what's another thing I love? Oh, quiche. I love
Oh,
vegan.
yeah.
Yeah, I love vegan quiche. You can do it also with silken tofu and some smoked tofu, and then you chop it up, bit of like soy milk or oat milk, salt, pepper, mustard, and then you put in whatever you want. I sometimes I do peas in there or beans. Yeah, love that. So these should be my Mount Rushmore of vegan food options. Yeah.
Was that, I think we have one more, no?
No, I had the currywurst, I had the beetroot salad, I had the pizza, and the quiche.
Okay, four. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Mount Rushmore is four,
Yeah,
right?
four. Yep.
Yeah.
Still four. They haven't
Yeah.
added a fifth member yet. So
Well, we have someone who will take all of them down and will like just build his own statue on top of it.
that's right.
I am the biggest one of all of them. So, I cannot ask you in return, but like, what's your like non-vegan Mount Rushmore of foods?
Oh, geez, man. All right. On just going straight up on flavor, because in general I have a pretty austere diet, but the things when I'm really going hard, you know, I like at the top of the pyramid is definitely pizza.
Hmm.
You know, I grew up in New York State. I've lived most of my life in New York and New Jersey, and that's like the mecca of that culinary delight known as pizza. And I straight up just cheese, man. I know there's many variations of pizza that you can have out there, but if you can make a solid cheese only pizza, then you win in my book. Like
Hmm.
9 out of 10 times, I just go straight for just cheese pizza with no toppings.
Hmm.
So that's it for me. That's the number one. That is the top of the pyramid for me.
Hmm.
Number two is going to be a nice 8 ounce hamburger with
Hmm.
cheddar cheese and caramelized onions.
That's always good. Love
Yeah.
caramelized
Yep.
onions. Yeah.
I eat that maybe th 3 times a year, maybe.
Hmm.
But like when I don't waste my time with like substandard burgers.
Mm.
You know, there's a place around here called the Cranford Hotel over in Cranford, New Jersey. It's like next town over that they get all their beef from Paratis, which is like a pretty high-end butcher in the area, and their ground beef is the same quality as the steaks. You know what I mean? It's not like,
Okay. Yeah,
you know,
that's
it's not
good.
like intestines and fingernails and, you know,
Yeah.
face skin and buttholes and stuff like that. You know, it's actual ground steak. and that's the burger I go to is that one. So that's number two. Number three is let's see, Penang curry, Thai food.
Okay.
Yeah, that's whenever I try out a new Thai restaurant, I always get the Penang curry, and that's what I use as my like my kind of reference point as to whether or not the food's good there.
Hmm.
Number four is sushi, man. I
No.
cannot get enough of sushi. I love sushi.
Mm.
The rainbow roll is like one of my favorite ones. But when I go to a new sushi restaurant, I always use the California roll as like my kind of reference point to see how they do with
Mm.
that. Yeah.
So the rainbow roll, so you're one of these queer folks, right? Yeah. So you're one of these woke people, huh?
I'm fluid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know,
Sushi fluid.
I'm sushi fluid. Yeah.
Dude, like sushi and I have a rocky relationship, man. I never liked seafood, and I
Yeah.
even had to like I can't stand like the seaweed roll paper they use. But there's one vegan sushi place here in Cologne, and I don't know what they use, but it doesn't taste as much as like the ocean. But then sushi is probably the coolest food ever. And I could put this up on my list, but I go there hardly ever because it's so fucking expensive. But I love inari, which is just like the
Oh yeah.
tofu paper with rice in it and just like the ginger with it. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a good one. So years back, you had a band called Hellstrom,
Hmm.
right? So what are your Mount Rushmore of
Whoa, whoa,
European?
whoa, 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 brother. It's back and forth, my friend.
Oh wait,
It's
wait.
my
Oh, I did. Wait. You just okay. All right. Sorry
you,
about that. Yeah.
you started.
I'm
Okay.
jumping the gun here, man. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. See how excited you are.
Yeah.
Finally. Um, Mike,
Yeah.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I need you to tell me your Mount Rushmore of stories by Howard Phillips Lovecraft.
Oh, dude. That is like asking me. All right. So, all right. Okay. So,
Top of your head.
it's
What
top of
comes
my
to
head. All right. Color Out of Space is a sick one. Um, this is not much of a story. It's only a few pages long, but Ex Oblivion,
mm-hmm.
which is like, well, all right. First of all, Color Out of Space is I've always thought that it'd be to be such an interesting story because before I even discovered Lovecraft, I was obviously a big horror and science fiction movie fan. And I always love the stories where something like a meteorite falls to the earth and like some alien emerges, like that story. The Blob is like that, the Blob. You can actually argue that the Blob is basically color out of space. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
The Day of the Triffids, like all those, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like those types of films always resonated with me because
Yeah.
of just the weirdness of everything and the idea of alien life landing on this planet and more or less putting everyone in danger.
Mm.
So that's always been interesting to me. So that's why Color Out of Space is probably on the top of that. Um, Ex Oblivion is it's only what a couple pages that story, and
Yeah.
it's like really touches on the bleakness of this pessimistic philosophy that Thomas Ligotti sort of expanded on. About how it's a to read that story all the way to the end, where someone believes that there's something that lies beyond the threshold of death,
Mm.
and then their life is like so. Oh, here comes the landscapers.
Yeah.
That their life is so um, hard and depressing that are embracing what lies beyond that wall, that threshold, that they kill themselves basically, only to discover that nothing is at the other side.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like such a bleak, dark story told in a very terse manner. But with all the great flowery language that Lovecraft uses, it kind of like echoes through a lot of things that I really enjoy. Like I love the work of Thomas Ligotti. There's the French film Martyrs. kind of it in a way, Martyrs is almost like an extrapolation of that story. If you think about that film,
Hmm.
there's like, this whole cult arises out of the idea of finding out what lies beyond the threshold of life. They look at the faces of martyrs and they have these beatific looks on their face because they believe that they're viewing heaven, and then I think, any of you guys who haven't seen Martyrs, now there's like a renaissance in French extremity. It seems like there's like, oh, there's a box set series coming out. There's going to
Hmm.
be
Saw that,
Severance.
yeah.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
the first one. I have the first one. The second one hasn't come out yet. The There's a new like metal box of Martyrs, coming out, which I pre-ordered that too.
Mm.
So I have three versions of that movie on deck right now. But the ending of that film resonates the same way the ending of the Ex Oblivion Lovecraft story ends. Yeah, so that's number two for me, even though it's almost like what, 2 pages long or something.
Mhm.
Dunwich Horror, that's a
Yeah.
classic story, you know.
Yep.
That's up there, and that ties into like the kind of degradation of insular communities and the fear of just like ancient evil, so
Yeah.
that's another good one. Um, let's see. That's three, right? Yeah.
Mm, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So number four. I'm running through the banks here, the memory banks of stories. Uh,
Should I do mine and
no,
then you
no, no,
do?
no, no,
Okay.
no. I'm zeroing in on it, but I
Okay.
don't know. I'm having a total brain. All right, so we got the Dunwich Horror. Um, all right. Let's see. Dude, there's so many friggin' stories. The music of Eric Zahn. The music of
Yeah.
Eric Zahn. That's another one because, once again, that one is that one's on. That's number four, but that's not really my number four. Like I that's coming to mind.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with that for now.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of like the joke about this format is like, like last time when we did like the favorite bands and I did mine and you said Joy Division, I'm like, oh my God, well, how could I forget Joy Division?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that just happens, but yeah, top of your head. But they're good stories. So yeah.
There's not there really there's only a handful of stories that don't really hit with me that Lovecraft wrote. So
Yeah.
I can pick any of them really,
I
but
would
there's go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I would also I would argue that Lovecraft has less hit miss stories than Poe. Poe has a lot of stories where I'm like, oh yeah, well, Lovecraft almost none. Like there's I wouldn't need to think hard of a story where I was like, oh, that wasn't fun. But like with Poe, there's some stories I really don't like that much. But yeah, like Lovecraft's the man. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to hit you with the same question because you're probably going to name one of the stories my brain just cannot find. So what is your Rushmore Lovecraft?
Number one, is always the festival.
Okay.
I just
We covered that on Bond
correct.
Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I just like this. It's like only in two places. It's in the house, and then they go down into this cave, and like everything that happens in this cave is so weird and so over the top that I always like really loved that. Second is Rats in the Wall.
Okay.
Again something that ends in a cave under a house, kind of a t thing I'm into. Maybe also in horror movies with The Descent and stuff like this. No, Rats in the Wall always had struck a nerve with me, even though it's not one of the famous stories and it's kind of like out of the ordinary. The Whisperer in the Darkness.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's just like this whole the way it is being told, the story with an unreliable narrator, and in the end, like it's really good. And I have like an audiobook version of that I totally love, and I always come back to that.
Well, that's
Um,
the unreliable narrator is another device that Poe often uses too.
yeah, yeah, correct, correct, correct. And there's a trend now that I just heard like in a podcast that it's like the times are done. Like people want reliable narrators. I'm like, no, I don't. Like I want more unreliable narrators. They do for the best stories. Um, yeah, and I gotta say, I mean, it's just because it's probably the story is like Mountains of Madness.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely the most well known probably.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
it's it's rightfully so. It's I mean Dunwich Horror is like a close like runner up, but I just think like I need to put Mountains of Madness in there just because I think it's Cthulhu is probably the most famous thing he created, but I think Mountains of Madness is probably the most well-known story, and yeah, rightfully so. It's so well written, it's so intriguing. The whole description of this gigantic city in the ice, love it. Yeah.
And that's also kind of a direct inspiration for like The Thing, like the John Carpenter
Yeah.
version of The Thing, which I always found.
Yeah.
I have my as you were describing this stuff, it came to me what my 4 point my 4A. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
can
Okay.
I mention that? Because this
Sure.
song
Absolutely.
actually this story is like one of my favorites, and I don't know why I didn't remember. Shadow over Innsmouth.
Ah. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Yeah,
Which coincides with the festival. Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
there's Shadow over Innsmouth connects with the other short story Dagon.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And that's uh anything that has to do with the ocean and
Yeah.
ancient creatures and man amphibian hybrids and that sort of thing and isolation. Like I think that's one of the strongest settings for a Lovecraft story.
Yeah, it's absolutely what resonates with me too. I was always a fan of cryptozoology, so like Jules Verne books, like as a kid, really got me. 20,000 Leagues Below the Sea and stuff, and like watching the old Ray Harryhausen films with like sea beasts or what's it called? Clash of the Titans,
Oh yeah, great.
and everything that's with the ocean, I'm like down with it. And now there's a guy that says like, hey, there are old gods in the ocean and in space and everything that's I think that's why probably Lovecraft is the GOAT, like because he brought all of that stuff together.
Well, the thing with the ocean too is like if you were like an alien and you're flying around in your spaceship, right? And you see the planet Earth. You look down and you see an ocean planet,
Yeah,
right? The land masses are insignificant compared to the amount of water that's on this world.
yeah,
And I know in our, the human, our hubristic ideas is about how important all the little dramas that we have going on, you
yeah,
know, those governments and politics and everything, and subjugating people and everything. That's like such like the tip of the iceberg, literally, when it comes to what the life on this planet is all about. I mean, the
yeah.
life of this planet is probably deep, deep beneath the ocean, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea that always got me. Like when people ask, "Are you more interested in space or the ocean?" I would always go like ocean, because space is gigantic and it's so untouchable in a way. But like there is something, a gigantic mystery right in front of our eyes, and we know, I think like less than 100th of what we know about space, we know about the deep sea. And that's something that really, yeah, it's crazy and creepy, and a lot of like horror stories, the deep that like Brandon suggested.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
read. Yep, we
yeah,
both. I think all three of us read that, right?
yeah, yeah, that was great. There's this German book, The Swarm by Thomas Schätzing, which is when you read it now, like where like there were these horror movies where nature takes revenge on people, like with ants and bees in the 70s, and it kind of has the same approach, but like something from the deep sea. And that's like probably one of my top five books of all time is reading this. And that was the reason why I started Planks in the first place. Like I want to sing about the ocean and the mysteries of that. I mean, Planks changed drastically after the first album, but yeah, this idea of like there's deep sea, we cannot go there, we have no idea what is happening. That makes me even like appreciate films like the I don't know what's the shark movie with that action guy.
Oh, like the Meg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like with the deep sea trenches and
yeah,
and shit like this, or Godzilla. Godzilla is like the same
yeah.
way. Like these trenches in the earth, and I love that shit. So yeah,
I still got to see that Godzilla movie that everyone's talking about that came out a
the
couple of years ago.
That's good, man. Yeah, it's good. It's more old school. I also dig like the monster verse, but it's like so over the top, but it's like funny. But minus one, Godzilla minus one. Yeah.
Yeah, I still gotta
That's
watch that.
yeah, yeah. If you can, like it's on Netflix in black and white.
Oh yeah.
Watch it in black and white from the get-go. It's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, actually that's I was talking to Tina about this last night because we were talking about The Mist, the movie, the Stephen
Yep.
King adaptation.
Yeah.
There's a black and white version of that movie available, and the version that I have has both on it. And the
Oh,
black and
cool.
white version is the way to go, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
They did the same with Logan, like this Wolverine movie when
Oh yeah.
he was older, and like the black and white movie is so good. Yeah.
All right, so I go now, right?
Yes,
All
hit
right,
me.
so a number of years ago, you played in a band called Hellstrom.
Correct.
Okay, and that I think that band was wrapping up or was wrapped up or closing out its career around the time you and I met, maybe, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
No, it was actually at the beginning. I think you got
beginning.
the yeah, you got the demo. I was still living with
Oh, right.
Danielle,
Okay.
and then we kicked Danielle out, and
Yep.
then
All
yeah,
right. All right. So that was a brand new thing when we met. See, this is time
yeah, yeah,
colors things, man, the way you remember stuff, you know.
yeah.
As Dick Laurent said in L in
Mulholland Drive.
yeah, he said,
I
I like
know,
to
Lost in Trans
Lost
Lost Highway.
Highway. It's like
God.
I like to remember things the way, in my own way,
Yeah.
So anyway, what are your Mount Rushmore of European hardcore bands, like crust bands?
Okay. So, do okay, like let's
Yeah.
let's define hardcore. Like
All right.
hardcore, hardcore.
I'm not talking about like Madball inspired German
Okay, okay.
hardcore. I'm talking about like stuff that the good stuff.
Okay, okay. So crust adjacent, more chaotic, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Crig
Like
Shot or something like that.
okay, okay, okay. So real crust as
Real
well. Okay.
crust. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah,
real
yeah.
music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, Perth Express.
Okay.
Um, Germans. They were like our buddies with Hellström, and we did a split together. Came out at the same time. They sounded like Mastodon. If Mastodon listened to more tragedy, and his hero is gone. So Perth Express are still to this day a band that I always go back to. They had the sound, they had the way of playing, they had the songwriting, everything was top notch with that band. It's unbelievable. Anyone out there, if you like, yeah, crust adjacent, very kind of rocking, but in a good way, heavy, hardcore crust metal, then Perth Express is your thing. Um, we spoke. You practically you gave me the nod. You spoke about the music of Eric Zahn.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got Zahn, German. They called it screamo bulldozer in a way. They came from like the screamo background, what we define as screamo, but they were way heavier, very moshy, super chaotic, more in the vein of Reversal of Man,
Hmm.
but heavier, downtuned. They've been around for a while, did a lot of tours. I think Anodyne was supposed to tour with them at one point.
That was going to be our final European tour, but we broke up before that happened.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, they were awesome. Oh man. Now, okay, let's go to so like mainland Europe, or does it have to be German?
No, it's any of Europe, all
Okay,
of
okay,
Europe.
okay. Okay, Martyrdöd from
Ah,
Sweden.
that was
Yeah.
okay. That's what's coming to mind for me. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Not so much their later stuff, but I think their second album, In Extremis, was very influential for me back then. Um, Very, very good band. Oh, let me see. Oh God, I will bite my ass when like later on
Because there's
because
so
there's
many, right?
yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah. There's
yeah, yeah.
so much stuff I will miss and hate myself for it. Um, I gotta go. Okay, they're more like not Madball, but like more into the hardcore realm, but way heavier. And actually, you guys played with them. Well, like Tombs played with them in Bielefeld when I traveled to Bielefeld. It's a band from Belgium called Rise and Fall.
Yeah, they're kind of like Integrity or something like that, sort of.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Their first album, it was called Into Oblivion. Was there? No, the first album they did when you watch like look at their cover, it looks like a Sam Hain cover
yeah,
of November Coming Fire. Their first real one, Into Oblivion, is like straight up Integrity Worship. But then they did two more, and these two more were when they said, fuck scene restrictions, we do whatever the fuck we want. And they incorporated more like weirdo parts, more melodic stuff. So these albums are a trip, and I just listened to them this morning at the gym. I listened to them back to back. And they were in the heyday when hardcore wasn't cool. Like hardcore is cool again now, and it was like in the 90s when Biohazard were the biggest band. But like in this realm around like between the mid 2000s until 2015, hardcore wasn't really a big thing. But Rise and Fall, like they were the guys, like when hardcore in Europe was pretty much dead. And they had the heaviness, they had the songwriting, and so yeah, like give a shout out to Rise and Fall. Like members of them playing Vigadode now. Yeah.
they're nice fellows. Those
Yeah.
guys. I remember specifically them being nice fellows. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my four. What's yours?
Oh, mine? European hardcore. Okay.
Hmm.
Probably I would say Skid System is in there. Um, they're Scandinavian. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't say it had to be, like we can look at all Europe. Martyr died for sure because they almost sound like this is the kind of hardcore I like.
Yeah.
I like dark. It has to be dark. It has to have like a serious like metal edge to it.
Yeah.
And Martyr died almost sounds like a black metal band.
Yeah. That's their In Extremis, their second album. When you listen to it, it sounds like a black metal record, but with like heavy guitars, but not like, active guitar pickups, but like really raw. And
Yeah.
like everything looks black metal and but they're a fantastic band.
Yeah. Um, let's see now. All right, Sistral.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, Sistral. We played with them. Remember that show? I don't know. Were you there for that? I don't know. I
What?
forgot what tour.
No, no.
We played, dude. We played in Bremen
Really?
on some tour that that happened like maybe 2009, 2010.
Oh, I think they were dead by that
No,
time.
no, no, dude. Well, all right,
Yeah,
Sistral was gone, but no, wait, we didn't play with Sistral. Who the hell did we play with?
Mirza?
Mirza. We played with Mirza. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. But I met all the guys in Sistral that night
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When we come to this venue, right? I see the poster for it. And I'm like, Mercer, is this a joke or something? Like, what the fuck is this all about? But they were still active, actually.
Yeah, yeah. They still are. They still play.
Yeah. So this is one of the coolest nights of my life because Mercer was a band that they're all right. Mercer's going to be my number four because
Okay, okay.
they're like fucking Bolt Thrower, like Slayer, but German hardcore.
Yeah.
You know?
Three singers, two bass
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, two bass players. It's just like it's everything is to the extreme with that band. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Mercer, I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool, man. So like the Mercer were there and they were telling me how much they love Tombs. And then at the end of the night, they're like, oh yeah, this is so and so from Sistral, and this is so and so from Acme, and I'm like,
Oh,
holy
yeah,
shit, dude!
yeah. Yeah.
Like you guys like bands like I was like so into you guys when you guys were around in the 90s, and we have a big photograph of me and all those guys, and I was like
Nice.
so fucking stoked about that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Mercer is they're on they're on that Mount Rushmore. And if you Americans out there, you Yanks, it looks like Morser. That's if you want to find these records.
Yeah.
Morser.
Yeah.
Morser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Acme would be there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of great bands, 90s,
Yeah.
your dark European hardcore.
Yeah, this bubble like around the people in Acme and Carol belonged to that, and then Stack, not Stack, Sistral and Mercer, they had the game figured out like before everyone else. And the craziest thing is like when I met Jamie Getz through you and we talked and he's like I talked about Acme and he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember like putting out that CD." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?" It's like, "Yeah, I did Edison Records." It's like, "Really? So you put out Acme, you put out Starkweather and all this shit." I'm like, "Oh my God." And they Overcast. And I was so pumped. And he's like, "Oh, you know all that stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. Acme is a legend here." Yeah.
Yeah, there's in the States it was like um a few people knew about those bands. They weren't like um it wasn't that well known, but there was enough people here who knew it. The same people who liked His Heroes Gone in the States probably were into like those bands. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. See? Good question. Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My turn.
Yeah, you go ahead, man.
Let me see. What do I punish you with now? Okay. Name me your Mount Rushmore of real band performances in fictitious movies.
Real band performances in fictitious movies.
So
Ho
that means not in a documentary, but like you watch a full-on movie, like
Oh,
regular
all right.
cast,
Okay. That's kind of
and
easy, actually.
yeah,
Not easy.
but there's a band playing,
All
and
right.
that's actually a band that's cool.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay. So, Black Flag in the decline of Western civilization one. Okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's a documentary.
Right. See?
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Does that happen?
Dude, all the time. I know
All
one.
right, I can think. All right, one's
I
coming to
was sh
mind right now. All right, so okay, so it's Season to Risk in Strange Days.
hmm
Okay, they're in that. Uh, Cannibal Corpse in that was it
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. So that's number two.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. Um, fuck, dude.
Oh,
Hold on. Can you hold on one second?
yeah.
Okay, turn that down. Yeah, am I making a recording? Right. Yeah, this fucking guy's like cranking shitty music outside my window here. Yeah. All right, so we got Ace Ventura. Let's see. Power Mad in I don't know if that was a real performance or not, but Power Mad in the David Lynch Wild at Heart movie.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty sick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fuck, dude, you stumped me on this one, man. I wasn't prepared for this at all.
Dude,
I need one more. I'm trying to go through the movies I like. Let's see here. Um,
let me help you because I know one and you will hate yourself for not saying this. I didn't
no,
put
no,
it on.
let me go a little bit more.
Okay, okay, okay.
I think I might come up with something here. Uh, dude, all right, give me a hint. Throw me a lifeline here.
Okay, okay. Get ready. Dude, it's late. I'm so hungry.
Oh shit, Bauhaus in the Hung. I was just, dude, the funny thing about this, I was just like the couple of days ago, or last weekend, I was just like talking to Tina about that, and she's never seen The Hunger, and I was just like, oh, dude, I'm like, this changed the way I saw things when I was like 16 or whatever. This movie came out. I go, I as soon because like right after I saw that beginning, I was like, who are these guys, man? Like,
Mm.
it's the vampire thing. I thought like Peter Murphy looked so fucking cool, man. And then literally like a week later, I went down into New York City to go see X, actually. They were playing
Mhm.
at the Ritz. Uh, New York City in the 80s, the Ritz was an actual, they served alcohol there, but I walked right in. Like I didn't even, I was 16 years old and no one cared. I just walked in and we went to go see X play. And yeah, so, and I bought a Bauhaus shirt with at Trash Vaudeville, which is like I don't think it's
Mhm.
still around anymore, but like a t-shirt place. Yeah, dude. All right, so there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Because like that's like I just listened to an episode, I don't know, like an older Necromaniacs episode, and that came up, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's a good topic. Like, and I know that you will like, I totally know that you would name this, so that's why I couldn't let it fly that you're not naming this. So yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's yeah. But did
yeah.
have you seen Strange Days? That film Strange Days?
No, I haven't, but it's about the Doors, right?
No, 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 no.
No?
It's like one of these like it came out in the early 90s and it was supposed to be about the turn of the century, 1999.
Mhm.
And Rafe Fiennes is in it. And
Oh,
like a
okay.
young Rafe Fiennes and Juliette Lewis.
Hmm.
And it's like this futuristic movie that takes place in the year 2000.
Okay.
Like and Season the Risk is in it. It's like there's this club scene and
Okay.
they're performing in that in the movie, which I thought was cool.
Okay. I have to check it out. Like I haven't seen that one. You want to hear my top four?
Go ahead.
Number one, Crime and the City Solution,
Oh,
playing Six Bell Chime in Wings of
oh,
Desire.
dude, yeah.
It's my all-time favorite. It is, it doesn't get cooler than this. Probably like the Bauhaus thing is equally as cool, but just the way this whole movie is filmed, and then
Yeah.
this club in Berlin in the 80s with all these cool people, and they like on the stage, Roland S. Howard, cool as fuck. Simon Bonney, cool as fuck.
Yep.
Even like there's even Nick Cave playing later on in the same movie, and it's not as cool as this, but that's my all-time favorite cameo of a band playing in a movie.
Yeah, that scene is great, and it's a black and white.
Yeah,
Bruno Gantz is in it. The
yeah,
great young Bruno Gantz is in that movie. It's like Wim Wenders is like
yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
I love this movie, and yeah, that's an amazing scene. Also, great movie. The next one is a terrible movie, but it's called The Beat. It's a 1988 movie, which is terrible, but there's a band on stage, and in the movie they're called Iron Skull. But it's actually the Chromax playing It's the Limit and Hard Times
Oh,
to
dude,
like,
I never even heard of that movie, The Beat.
yeah, The Beat. It's
Oh,
about like suburb kids in New York that get into fights in like early that's like I'm shocked that you don't know this because it like pretty much plays in your home turf, and it's from 88 and it has the Chromax in it. But the movie is shit. But like the scene
hmm.
where they play on stage is the most out there mosh pit like I've ever seen, and it's so fucking cool. And you can see the performance just on YouTube if you just want to see that.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's like you gotta check like Chromax Iron Skull or
that's
Chromax
sick.
the beat, and you can see it. It's fucking
Iron
stellar.
Iron Skull. That's an awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Number three, also, well, a movie that kind of aged not really well. It's okay, but it's the movie called AI, Artificial Intelligence.
Oh,
And I mean, it's about the future and weirdos and blah, and they have Ministry playing in
oh
one
shit.
scene. Yeah. And Ministry in their glory 90s absolute chaos phase, playing What About Us? That's a great scene too. Movie is okay. And the last is TSOL playing Wash
Ah,
Away and Darker My Love in Suburbia from 1983. Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't think of that one either because I actually watched that clip all the time on YouTube
Yeah.
with that scene is great.
Yeah.
There's like Jack Grisham looks cool in
Oh
that scene.
man, how he like walks on stage and it's just so fucking cool. Yeah, so that's one the scene I always go back to.
These
And I've
like
got
young girls jump on stage to like kiss him and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
There's there's like a clip of Christian Death doing like a reunion show later on, probably in the 90s maybe, where
yeah,
it's almost the same. I wonder if they staged it the same way because it's for Romeo's Distress, where
yeah.
he's on stage and like these two chicks jump on stage and like kiss him and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like there's a bunch more, but like these are my favorites definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so all right, so now it's my turn to give you one because you kind of just
Yeah,
like
like I would
you
say,
know,
like you do one more, I do one more, and then we wrap up, I
all
think.
right, that's cool. Let's see, we talk about veganism, we talk about European hardcore. We talk all right, so what are your top what's your Rushmore of Poe stories since you hit me with the Lovecraft stuff?
Okay. So Mask of the Red Death.
Yep.
It's always been my favorite. It's a perfect written story. Like if you analyze it, and I read a lot of like analysis of that. I even wrote a thesis about it when I still studied. I had a post seminar, and the color of the rooms with the end being black and the Red Death, the metaphor for the past. And I love this story so much. It's creepy as fuck. It's probably the darkest Poe story. The second one we spoke about on our Long Shadows, The Man of the Crowd. It's intricate, it's mysterious, and such a fable for reality of like walking in between the lines of people and they don't see you.
Yeah.
Um, love that. Um, I would say the facts in the case of Mr. Voldemort.
Okay.
Um, that's an odd one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
it's like a little bit off the beaten path for
yeah,
some
yeah,
people.
yeah. It's like it's this resurrection story and metaphysics of death, pretty much, And I always loved that. And the Imp of the Perverse. Yeah, that's my number four, I would say. Um, it's also not like the most famous story. Um, I could say Pitted Pendulum as like a runner-up, but that's like probably one of the most famous ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you dig his poetry at all?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like his
definitely do.
poems. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
poems are good.
I'm just rereading Hellboy,
Oh,
and I've got like this. Do you know like the omnibus things? Like,
yes.
oh man, this will drive me like into ruin at some point. But I've got the box set of like all the like the primary stories. It's like four big paperbacks in a fantastic box set of Hellboy, and they've got a like the Conqueror Worm is a
Oh yeah.
story there, and it all references Ligeia, which is like one of my favorite poems by him. Yeah, I also fuck with his poetry. Yeah, very.
I think I need to I have like a ton of Hellboy comics like when they came out, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I read them, but I don't have like a collection, which I think I need to get at some point.
Oh, dude, like this omnibus collection has everything you need. Like
Yeah.
it's really the run of Mike Mignola. It's like all of his stuff combined, and it's like in the right order, and it reference like there's like cross references. You need to go back and see this for that. It's very well done. Like this, like the scans and the reprints are fantastic. Great paper, feels great. It's a lot of fun. Such an outstanding piece of work. Yeah.
You know, it's Hellboy in some ways is like a very underserved character. You know, like
Yes,
the
yes.
movies have not even come close to the
No.
majesty of the original comics for sure.
Yeah. The first movie is good.
Yeah,
All the rest of them blow. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the first one I enjoyed. Ron Perlman was the perfect Hellboy, actually.
Absolutely, yes. He gets the humor, he gets everything. Then there was this like he did two. I think then there was another installment which wasn't good, and then there was another one that came out like 2 years ago, which was like almost like a straight to DVD thing in the 90s. That one, like it's on Netflix now. I tried watching it. I had to stop it after a while. It was so bad.
Yeah, it's always when you have to stop watching something that's available for free is
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like yeah, as you know it's bad.
yeah. So, what are your favorite Poe stories?
Oh, dude, don't do this to me. I'm not nearly as well versed in Poe. All right, so
Give me at least one. What's a story
all
you
right, so
love?
I'm gonna be a straight up like white girl on this. All right, so the Mask of the Red Death is great because that's once again probably the definitive like Poe story, you know.
Hmm.
Pit and the Pendulum. I like that one because I was first introduced to me through the Roger Corman Vincent Price films.
Hmm.
And then I went back and I read Um, when I started reading Poe, that's when I really appreciated the actual story itself, you know.
Mhm.
Fall of the House of Usher, you know.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
again, dude, I'm just going off the top of my head.
sure.
And you know how I love cats, the black cat.
Ah, yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How did you like that Netflix show where they did all the Lovecraft stories had one episode in the long narrative? What was the name?
Wait, are you talking about the Netflix Fall of the House of Usher?
Yeah, yeah, right. Where
Yeah.
where they did like one story was the plot for one episode in this story.
I watched half of the first episode and I just couldn't get into it, man. I got to be
Okay.
honest. I
I like
feel
that. Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably go I really what I wanted, they didn't
Yeah.
deliver what I wanted, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
yeah.
I was talking to Carl about this. It's like I wanted almost like I wanted a period piece. I didn't
Yeah,
want a
yeah.
modern version of it. It's like
Mm,
there's certain things like Robert Eggers, he made Nosferatu and it is a period piece.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I don't think, I mean, maybe I should give it another chance because I really wanted something that they just didn't do, and maybe what they did was good, and I just wasn't open to it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I can tell you as a scholar of Poe, I was going in with an open mind because like I'm a very open-minded person. Um and I didn't read anything beforehand, and in the first episode I'm like, okay, what are they trying to do here? And I thought it was like, okay, everything's like a 9 episode piece about taking the story into the yet in the now time, but it will just be about the ushers. But then they made like this almost succession kind of story out of it with like, but every episode kills of one character in a Lovecraft story way, which is cool, especially the Mask of the Red Death episode, which is the third one, where they really got me, where I'm like, okay, hands down, this is fucking cool. So I watched it to the end. It's not something I will rewatch at some point, but it is definitely worth the watch. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I should probably give it another shot, maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a million things you can watch, but I feel like sometime you and the missus are like on the couch, like, hey, let's watch something easy. You can go to that and it will work fine with some nachos and a Diet Coke or something. Yeah.
I'm also quite fond of The Raven too. That's a good one.
Yeah. But that's a poem, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we were talking a little bit about poetry like
Yeah, yeah,
before,
yeah, yeah.
whether or
Okay,
not,
okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good like some of if we were to expand that into poetry, that's a really good one.
Yeah. Okay, my final one. So we spoke about music, we spoke about music in movies, we spoke about movies. Let's talk about a different topic.
Oh.
Mike. Uh-oh. Um, it's very natural that it comes now because Mike, I need you to tell me your Mount Rushmore of second tier comic book heroes.
Second tier.
Yeah, that means not Spider-Man,
Okay.
not Batman, not the Avengers, more unknown characters, comic book figures, stuff that you like, which is not peak A tier Marvel or DC.
But they can be in the Marvel and DC
Sure, yeah,
universe
yeah,
though,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. But it's not like, like Spider-Man or
Yeah, all right, I
Batman.
got you. All right,
Okay.
all right. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Cloak and Dagger, Marvel Comics. There was a
Yep.
run in I think the late 80s maybe,
Hmm.
where there were these, sort of like one guy had the Cloak character was the one I really dug because he was almost kind of evil. Like he was an anti-hero sort of.
Hmm.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Moon Knight for sure. Moon
Sure.
Knight,
Good one.
I hesitate to call him a second tier character. However, he is not nearly as popular as any of the others, so I guess he is a second tier character.
Yeah.
Um, Dude with multiple personalities. In some ways, he's like the Marvel Batman, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, it, but he's more super. He's actually a supernatural
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Definitely Moon Knight for sure. Let's see if I don't. I've never really been the biggest DC Comics guy,
Mhm.
but let's say I'm going to say John Constantine in Hellblazer.
Good one. Yes.
Um, Definitely. All right, we'll say he's not a main character because he's never been part of the universe the way that they're creating a universe now.
Yeah.
But he may show up. I hope he shows up at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But they did the Hellblazer movie with Keanu Reeves, which I actually enjoyed. I thought that was really good.
Hmm.
But Constantine, he's the cult detective character of the Vertigo world, and Vertigo is like I thought Vertigo was like the future of comics, in
Yeah.
some ways that came out. And then he verges on being a main tier character, but I would say Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is just the more version
Yeah.
of him is like influential and
Yeah.
transcends the medium from especially from when the time frame it came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like he took like a really obscure character and made him into something that people cared about, really.
Yeah. Spoiler, this is my number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess you have a list too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I do. I'm a teacher,
Yeah.
man. It's here, it's wrapped in plastic, it's sorted. No. Yes, like that's why I made the reference because we just spoke about Hellboy. So
Yeah.
let's start with Hellboy. Hellboy is definitely in my top four, Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Outstanding character, developing his own universe without like intersections with like a lot of other stars. But Hellboy is so cool. Everything is so nice about this story. The occult, it's a lot about Satan, about demons. You've got the Nazi reference. He wants to kill Nazis, which is always a good thing. And it's just like such an outstanding universe they created, especially like the Mike Mignola stuff.
Yeah.
So this one definitely. You spoke about the Alan Moore Swamp Things. I just reread this too. Like that's the box set I got before the Hellboy one. So I reread all the Alan Moore. I'm really heavy into comics right now. It's
Cool.
like yeah, it's like my safe space with the world gone absolutely crazy. I'm sitting on my balcony right now. Titus next to me, like in his little bed, chewing like deep frozen yogurt
Mm.
and I read comic books and yeah, blasted through the Alan Moore Swamp Thing. And from like if you go back to the time where they did it and like how intricate and special these stories is with all the realms when he can like go into different like states of being goes like across the threshold of death. It's such crazy things without having like oh here's the multiverse.
Yeah.
It's and it's been he's he's such a difficult character to grasp, and his motivation is so much about love and true like goodness in people. And I always loved that. Yeah.
Well, what I really dug too is like how at some point in that run they talk about how he isn't how Alec Holland is just
Yeah.
like not he's dead actually is dead and he's
Yes.
like this is like a facet like another facet of this consciousness that he has.
And that's like so this metaphysics of this story, this idea of his like memory being ingrained in nature and then nature helping him regain consciousness, him being the guy he is, but he still isn't. It's so there's so much to think about. It has such a depth to it that it's absolutely outstanding to me.
And very groundbreaking for the time it came out in the
Yeah,
80s, like the mid
yeah.
80s. It was like, I mean, it was the first few issues were available on the newsstand, and then that's when the whole direct market came.
Hmm.
And then along with like Ronin and the Dark Knight, and that was like kind of and then Watchmen too. That was
Yeah.
all. He wrote Watchmen too, which is dude, that's
Yep.
another masterpiece.
Yeah.
And
There
that
we yeah, sorry.
totally reconfigured what it would be like, what comic book medium could be like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think they paved the way for Vertigo.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
for sure.
And that's you just like here is us like really playing balls to each other. It's number three is Rorschach
Oh,
from the Watchman series. Watchman is probably the greatest comic book story ever. Like
yeah.
It's and like if you only know like the graphic novel, like the original Watchmen, it's already great. But I just got the Danny gave it to me for my for Christmas or my birthday, I don't know. She gave me Before Watchmen Omnibus. It's like a 1,500 page beast, and it has all the comics that have been done later on with the background stories to all the
Oh,
characters,
okay.
and it's outstanding. There's a separate Rorschach universe because Rorschach gets killed, and then there's someone else taking up his mask and finishing his job, and like the whole like aspect of Rorschach in the comic is so well done that I recently got him tattooed on my leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude. So, did Alan Moore write those or no? Someone else wrote it?
Yeah, someone else, but some of them he did.
Oh,
It's more
cool.
like you can compare it to like people like good writers taking up the work of Lovecraft and doing
Oh,
like
right
love.
on.
It's
Yeah.
like really they get the vibe. They really like dive into the universe. And I also want to give a plug to the HBO series because it fell so flat on its ass, but it's really good. It's like it's a completely new idea, and but it's so well done. Like it attaches a bit to the movie. It's more like a fan fiction thing, but like produced in high scale. Has a soundtrack by Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you saw it?
Yeah, I loved it actually. I thought it was
Yeah,
great. I was hoping they would do more, but
yeah. Of course they didn't.
yeah.
And then there's one thing that probably you would also love. There's a crossover between the DC universe and Watchmen. It's crazy, man. Like if you've seen the Snyder cut with the Flash, like like just going through space and time, they kind of did it that like through one of his travels, all of a sudden the bloody smiley button appears in the Batcave.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then like Bruce Wayne and the Flash, they're like, what the hell is this? And then like their two universes mold because oh no, it's not Mr. Fantastic. It's what's the blue guy in Watchmen? I'm Captain
Oh,
Universe
D Dr. Manhattan.
yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
He actually went to the universe of DC to find refuge, and it pretty much there's a crossover then all of a sudden where the universes collide, and you've got Batman fighting, you got Superman and Dr. Manhattan battling it out, and it's so fucking cool,
Oh
man.
man, I got to get into that. That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
I'll send you some pictures of the stuff later on so you can track it down. But yeah, the Watchmen universe is great, and my favorite character is definitely Rorschach. And yeah, sorry, you go.
Oh no, that's awesome, man. I need to read those. I think I wasn't even aware of the existence of that, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. And the last one, I just give like one of the he's semi A tier, but he's always a bit under the radar. Maybe also because they like fuck the movies terribly bad. It's Venom. Venom was always my favorite Marvel character, and him being like the villain in Batman, in Spider-Man, but actually being a good guy, and the story of Brock, like being actually a good guy that always like ends up short and then gets like this crazy symbiote to him, and everything he brought with him, like the whole Carnage thing, it's like kind of was like my favorite part about the Spider-Man thing. So yeah, Venom would be my number four.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite Spider-Man comics for sure. Venom is because Spider-Man was interesting, but I never
Yeah.
really embraced Spider-Man. The same way I
Yeah.
never really liked Superman. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like I know that Superman movie's out and everyone's talking about it, and like everyone says, "Oh, you should go see it." But I'm not beating the door down to see that movie really.
Yeah. I will watch it, but I'm like you, I wasn't a fan of I never read like an actual proper comic book of Superman. But I gotta say, everybody hated like these three movie run where there was Superman, then Superman versus Batman, and then the Snyder Justice League. But I actually like all these three movies. Like I know a lot of people hate them, but it was like the attempt to make it dark. Like Superman was a dark character. But never liked this shimmy, shimmy, like super straight white guy superhero. Yeah.
That's the Henry Cavill version of Superman, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that actor, and
Yeah.
I did enjoy those movies. I thought they were
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my run, and I think we covered a lot of ground here for a spontaneous not long shadows. Yeah, we got to get into that one as well.
Yeah,
But
that's we doubt it. We have to. I'm looking at the Hellbound Heart right now on my bookshelf.
yeah, I will get into that next week, and then we'll get ready to finally do that.
And
Yeah.
that's only for you Patreon users out there, your Patreon members, the Long Shadows episodes. So, if you want to get down with us on Long Shadows, subscribe for $1 a month.
Yeah, dude, don't be a cheap
What
ass.
can you get? You can't get anything for $1 these days. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I see, like to quote the famous RoboCop 2, I would buy that for $1.
There you go, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, thanks, Ralph. Much appreciated, man. This is fun. And
always my pleasure.
you're on your holiday for summer, so that's good.
Yeah, finally, man. Reading up on new comics and making up new diabolical categories for the next Mount Rushmore. What we'll
But
do.
you know what, man? As much as like I didn't prepare, the first time we did this, I had a bunch of stuff written down, but I only used maybe one of them. The rest I just did off the top of my head anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if whatever floats, and we have flow, and that's the only thing that counts. I really enjoy this. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like we should do a metaphysics too.
Yeah, that one
Um,
requires definitely preparation
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
but now we've got time. There's no more chores for me this year, so we'll talk more in the future. And
Yeah.
yeah, always glad to be back on here.
Right on. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.